NmMindstorm here today, and I am going to be showing you how to do some really cool, fantastic, and amazing magic tricks. These are some that some people have heard of, other people have not heard of, so it really depends who your audience is that you may be showing this to, if you ever try to use a trick or two from this video, that is. But I believe that these are actually really cool, and most of them I just learned about. I don't know if I've just been deprived of hearing these magic tricks ever since I was little, or if not many people have actually heard about them. So, I don't know. So this trick that I'm about to do is probably one of my favorite tricks in the book. And I only learned about it last night, and I'm still pretty good at it. Of course, it's not as good as those magicians turning fire into birds and birds into flowers and all that fun stuff, but it is the best out of amateur magic, meaning that it doesn't require any skilled coordination, it's not religious, and it's just overall cool. So this is telekinesis. Do you know what I was doing? I was moving this here bread clip up the rubber band with my mind. All the way up the rubber band, and I use my mind, guys. Isn't that so amazing? No, that's not how it works. What you do is you take a rubber band, and what you want to do is take your trusty scissors, and you want to cut it so that it's only a strand that is nice and flexible. Make sure it's not dry or anything like that. And the next thing you want to do is take like a ring or a bread clip, in this case, and you want to put it on approximately the middle of the rubber band string. If it's not exactly in the middle, then you're going to take the shorter side and hold the end of the shorter side in your non-dominant hand, which is my left. Then you're going to take your dominant hand and pinch just before the bread clip. And you're going to leave that hanging, and then you're going to take the hanging part and just rest it in your hand and feed the rubber band through. So you're not actually moving it with your mind. You're just making it look like it. And that is probably why it's one of my favorites. Thanks for watching that trick. Let's move on to the next one. 3, 2, 1. I just made a toothpick appear. I'm going to make it disappear too. What you need for this trick, of course, is a toothpick and some tape. Now, you probably already know what I do, but just in case. What you want to do is take a small piece of tape like this, and you want to attach it, actually, to the very end of the toothpick here. Kind of so that it looks like a sign, almost. And then you want to take it and attach it to, actually, the back of the thumb of your dominant hand. So I know I started out by doing this on my left hand, but, you know, you could honestly use whatever hand you want. The next thing that you want to make sure of is that your audience does not see the tape that is attaching the toothpick to your thumb. So from, dang it, okay. So from the front, you should not see the tape or the toothpick on the hand. They won't be paying attention to that yet because they don't know what you're going to do. You're just going to say, hey, you want to see a cool magic trick? You're going to say, look at this, ready? Hold on. 3, 2, 1. I just made a toothpick appear. I'm going to make it disappear too. Magic. So this one's a pretty good trick. Actually, it's, you want to take a piece of tin foil. And if you are familiar with the Diary of a Wimpy Kid series, then you know exactly what I'm going to be doing here. Now, let me just start off by saying that this entire trick is focused around misdirection. Because if the person were focusing on what you were doing, it might be a little easier for them to figure it out. So you have to be looking at them and talking to them, not at them. It sounds like you're being annoying, just talking at them. Well, no, you're talking to them, actively talking to them while you're doing the trick so they don't see what you're actually doing. So, let's get started. The thing about this trick is that when you do it, you want to make sure that your audience is looking only on the surface of the table and not underneath. That is why I blocked it with a pillow. Because if they do that, then they will easily know what you're doing. So you want to take your sheet of tinfoil here in your solo cup, and you want to cover the cup with the tinfoil. Yep. You can see that the cup's there, and one thing that I really like about this trick is that it's very misleading. I mean, have you ever been able to just crush a plastic cup and then find out it was never there? Let me show you how I did this. I will put it on this side of the table so you can actually see what I'm doing. So I'm covering the cup with the tinfoil. Now this is a sloppy job, but if you're looking through the back of the cup, like me, like I was, as opposed to the front, where you can see the cup, is you're sliding it to the edge of the table, and the cup's dropping off, with the tinfoil staying on, so it still looks like there's a cup there, and you crush it. I found that pretty cool. So let's move on to our next trick, why don't we? Now this trick, I actually found pretty brilliant, because it has 2 quarters. Now, if you're poor, you could use nickels, dimes, pennies. I know quarters are an expensive thing, which is why not everyone might have them, but let's just get zooming in right on our trick. So we put 1 quarter in this palm, and 1 quarter in this palm. And we flip over our hands. And there, surprisingly enough, is no quarter under this hand. They're both under this one. How did I do it, right? Well, actually, let's do it again, first of all. So the key is to talk to your audience when you're doing it, so you can provide some misdirection. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the quarters in the palms of my hands, and yes, they are real quarters in the palms of my hands, and you're just going to flip over your hands like so. And there's no quarters under this one, and there's 2 under this one. If you actually want to know what I'm going to do, or what I'm doing in this trick, then I'm going to zoom in a little bit more. So you don't tell your audience this, but what you're actually doing is you are taking these quarters here, you're putting it in the palm of your hand. You tell your audience that you're putting it in the palm of your right hand, or your dominant hand, whatever one you are. But what you're actually doing is you're putting it on the lower palm near the bridge of your thumb. And it makes it easier to, come on, secret revealed, drum roll please. It makes it easier to throw it under your other hand when you flip your hands over and they appear here. So let's do it a little bit quicker and more impressive now. I literally learned this trick 4 minutes ago. I think with a little bit of practice, you guys will be doing this as well. And no, don't be cringy just because I said literally. No, it was actually 4 minutes ago when I learned this trick. I'd say check the clock, but you're not living in this reality with me right now. You're not on this side of the camera, so you can't tell. But do trust me, it doesn't require much coordination. You just have to be good at it. Takes a couple of times to practice, but then you can bring it to your friends and family, and maybe it doesn't take you tries to practice, you know? Because maybe you're just not coordinated, or maybe it takes you like 2 or 3 tries to practice because you're not as coordinated as some other people. It's still really cool, and
you get it 9 out of 10 times. Even when you don't even necessarily have it on the bridge of your thumb. So that's that trick, and I thought it was really cool. I don't know about you guys, but yeah, next trick, let's go.
Now this one's my favorite one, but it's one of those first glance type things. Like anything after that, they'll know what you're doing. But it's still really cool. It's this cup that we have formed an emotional connection with through that tinfoil trick there. What we want to do is take these scissors, just cut a little slit in the back of it. And before you cut anything, I just want to show you how big it needs to be. So, if you've got thumbs about the size of mine, and you want a hole about that big, what you want to do is stick your thumb on your dominant hand in the back of the cup where you made the hole. Then, what you want to do is make the cup actually look like it's levitating. Isn't that cool? I'm so magical. I am just so magical. Now, I'm not the best at that trick, but, you know, it's actually a really fun trick if you learn how to do it correctly. Next thing you want to do. Next trick on our list here today. See this toothpick here? Right here? What you're going to want to do is, like, when you're talking to your friend or your family, they have like a phone or like a cup or yeah, like a coffee mug, and they're not paying attention, you break off a piece of this here toothpick. You break off the end and you stick it under their cup. Maybe while they're in the bathroom or anything. This is the beforehand of the trick. So they're not even knowing that you're trying to do a magic trick yet. So they're really not paying attention to anything. So then what you want to do is grasp the toothpick in this hand, in your dominant hand. And you say, hey, you see this toothpick? And then you pretend to break off the end. You make like a little clicking noise with your thumb. When really it's already broken. You already put the other end. And once you pretend to break off the end, and you have it here in this hand, put the toothpick down and you say, hey, I'm going to make this appear under wherever you put it. And whew, it's under the cup. Isn't that so amazing? So let's do that trick one more time, actually. See this toothpick? I'm going to break it first of all. And once I break it, I'm going to take the other end of it, put it down, and I'm going to make the other piece appear under your cup. And voila! It was right here the whole time. It's one of those tricks that if your introduction is, hey, you want to see a magic trick, they're going to be looking at you the whole time and they're going to know what you do. But if you don't introduce it as a magic trick and you just say, hey, you want to see this cool thing? I'm going to make this appear under your cup. It's pretty cool if you do it correctly. So, that brings us to our next magic trick on our list today. So the reason that the camera angle is as perfect as it is right now is because you want to have it at a person's point of view, because that's ultimately how you're seeing it. You're seeing it as a person, I hope. That's how it works. The person has to look at your feet from their height. That's the whole illusion to this trick. It's the height of
their perspective of how they're looking at what you're doing. This generally works if the person is 3 to 5 or 2 to 5 feet away from you. Not 3 to 5 years of age, no. Okay, so let's jump right into this trick, or should I say, levitate right into this trick, right? Yeah, shall we? So you can see that my heels are as well lifting up along with my foot. And the only explanation that I have for this is that I'm levitating. It's a very complicated process. Whoa. It's very skilled. Many people have wanted to do this for so many years. Make sure that the only thing that your audience sees is the backs of your heels and the side and front of your right foot. You don't want them to see this part of your left foot, though. And the reason is I'll bring you through this step by step. You want to make sure well, maybe not right foot, your dominant foot. I just say right because right is my dominant. You want to bring up your right foot here and keep it level, while your left foot, you're just lifting up the heel of your left foot. So, in turn, it looks like that. It's so cool, I'm levitating. So, that is that trick. So let's do our next trick here today. What you need is a coin and a hand to grab the coin. How did I do it? So the secret to what I'm doing is I have the coin like this and I come to grab the coin. But then I drop the coin down and pretend I'm picking it up, and there's nothing in my hand. I thought that was pretty cool when I saw it. Hey everyone, it's NmMindstorm. Thank you for watching this awesome, magical video. If you liked it, then put a thumbs up down below. And yeah, that is all the tricks for this video, and I hope that maybe you liked them and you could share them with your friends and family. So yeah, bye bye.